It's the Steel Eagle himself, Chizanko. And here on his island, you're listening to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
Canadian strong, maritime proud. Hear the roar of the fans, feel the crowd. Every slam, every fight, every story we shout. Legends are born, there's no doubt. From Halifax rings to PI lights, the action is heavy, the energy ignites. Feel the thrill, it's gonna be a blast. Welcome to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Corey, joined by Jason.
What up?
And Mark the Mark.
What?
Corey absent, work-related things again. He will be missed. There's an episode to not miss. It's this one, because you shouldn't miss any episode, because this is the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment on how we're doing.
Absolutely.
How are you boys?
Good. Started a new job last week. It's going fantastic. I love it. So,
That's awesome to hear. Mark, have you started a new job?
I have not.
Interesting. How does that make you feel?
Okay.
Okay. That's all I have for this bit.
Corey, are you working, Corey?
I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm working a lot on the podcast.
Did you start a new job?
No, it's the same old. I'm looking to start a new school.
Oh, yeah. Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or what?
Yeah, I'm thinking about going into pornography.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
I get it.
All right, enough with our shenanigans. One show this weekend, and it's a pretty. It's how can I put this? It's
Important.
It's an important one. It's for a very good cause. United Wrestling was back with Cassidy's fight. Young girl Cassidy has Hodgkin's lymphoma. I think she's a young teenage girl.
Yeah, she's in grade 9, I believe.
Yeah, you hate to see this, but you know it's one of those things where I've said it my entire life. Professional wrestling is the greatest thing. It brings in community, and I believe all the proceeds went to Cassidy in her fight with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that's really awesome on United's part. The results. Ryan Denham, he beat Daniel Wall. Sidewalk Sam beat Sidney Sweetie with the help from Kyle Cruz. Anthony Deuce Harlem was not medically cleared to wrestle. He was replaced in his match by the pride of the South Shore, Rodney Brum. Brum?
I think it's Brum.
I think it's Brum. First time hearing him. I know he's returning. I don't remember him at all. So
He was a student of the Gary Williams Academy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, man. So the match that he did compete in was Ryan Riggs beating Rodney Brum. So not a successful return, but still must have been a pretty good match. Kyle Cruz versus Vincent Tyler went to a no contest after interference by Sidewalk Sam. Sidney Sweetie came out to help Vincent Tyler, and it became a tag team match. And the tag team match ended up being Sidney Sweetie and Vincent Tyler beating Kyle Cruz and Sidewalk Sam. And the main event saw the Annapolis Valley title on the line. And we're going to call him 3-belt Thad now. Thad Howitt beat Robbie McAllister to claim his third title, adding to his Real Savage Pro Wrestling and his New Breed Wrestling heavyweight titles. Let's get into this card a little bit. We've seen a lot of Kaizen stars here. So they're and young Kaizen star like Sidney Sweetie, Ryan Denham, Daniel Wall. It's good to see them like spread their wings like this.
Yeah, it's good to see them spread their wings, especially for a good cause as well.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see guys from other promotions get together with promotions that are normally not in, to come together for a good cause. So yeah, it's fun to watch. Daniel Wall has been spreading his wings a lot lately. IPW and United, and he's starting to branch out. He was CCW not long ago as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun to see Sydney Sweetie. I think this is one of his first times ever branching out from Kaizen. So hopefully we get to see him more and more throughout the Maritimes, because he's starting to develop into a really, really good wrestler as well. So
Absolutely.
I was talking to Ryan Riggs this week, and between the donations, the 50-50, and the proceeds from the show, they were able to hand Cassidy and her family nearly $4,600 to help them with expenses.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's going to go a long way, especially when they got to travel back and forth from the Valley to IWK on a regular basis. So it's every little bit helps, that's for sure.
Every little bit helps, and Maritime Wrestling was a small part in helping this young girl, and I couldn't be prouder of United Wrestling for doing this, and everybody involved with this.
Absolutely.
Before we move on a little bit more, a few more things to talk about here. Anthony Deuce Harlem not medically cleared. Any idea on what the injury is?
No, I haven't heard anything. Just seen they had posted it that he wasn't medically cleared, so I'm not sure what is going on there. I don't see him lined up for anything else happening this weekend coming up. So, not sure. I might try and reach out and see what's going on. Maybe next week we'll have a little bit more info.
Now, we've been doing this podcast since early March. I've still not seen him live.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Right.
He's like a tank, an absolute tank. I've seen him multiple times, and I've spoken to a lot of people that have been in the ring with him. He is a very solid wrestler. So solid that Pete LeBlanc is comfortable taking a hold-up suplex from him and feels safe.
Really?
So when you have somebody strong enough to hold Big Pete up in a standing suplex, you know you got a big base under you.
Absolutely.
He's an absolute tank.
You know, one of the underrated tag teams in the Maritimes in 2025 was Sidewalk Sam and Kyle Cruz. There's been a lot of talk about tag team wrestling this year. United even had their own tag team titles. What can the future hold for Cruz and Sidewalk Sam?
Highway Heat.
Highway Heat?
I'm not sure. I guess it'll all depend on how much more they want to wrestle in 2026. I know both guys are. Kyle Cruz celebrated his 25th anniversary of wrestling this year.
Yep.
Sidewalk Sam, I think, is right up there as well.
Maybe like 20-ish years. Okay. I remember he started in mainstream wrestling. I believe he was CN Power to start. So a little
riff on that CN Tower.
CN Tower. But yeah, it's interesting to see this, like, they've really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They've embraced the tag team.
Yeah, and I'm not saying these guys are old, because let's face it, I'm probably the same age or older than they are. But as you get up there in age, especially in wrestling where it takes such a toll on your body, wrestling as a tag team is probably a better choice, because then you're not getting winded in the match. You have a second person there to tag in and out, so you can catch your breath and in turn wrestle longer, so you're not taking as much damage to your body, right? So
absolutely. Thad Howard winning the Annapolis Valley title. A few years ago, I think it was in 2023, Thad Howard put out a post and said that 2023, his goal was to win his first championship. It didn't happen in 2023. He did end up winning I believe it was the Epic Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles with Gabe Savage in 2024.
That's right.
2025 has been his year. Like, there are multiple wrestlers that held multiple belts. Thad has really exploded. He's won the Annapolis Valley title here. There's a picture of him with the New Breed belt on one arm, the Real Savage Pro Wrestling belt on another, and the Annapolis Valley title around his neck. You can't help but feel proud for Thad Howitt.
100%. 100%. Yeah, when you mentioned the Epic Pro Wrestling title, they were champions, but that whole promotion kind of like closed right as they became champions. So like I don't even think they had a chance to defend their title.
They did not, no.
So, I mean, it was all for naught, right? You finally get your first gold, your first big break, and then the promotion folds. So it must have been so disheartening, you know what I mean? Like, and then to go like all of 2024 just chasing again, like I'm sure it must have been, like I say, disheartening, but 2025, he came out with a new, I mean, he did come out with a new gimmick, Bad Thad Howitt, but I think more than that, he came out with a new outlook on wrestling. You could tell that something clicked in his head, something that just switched, something changed. He decided to like really go for it, and I mean, it's paying off. Like he's like I say, he's got 3 titles. He posted the other day, he is now calling himself Thaddy 3 belts. So I laughed, but yeah, I think it's fantastic. There's a few guys that have multiple belts this year, and I think for Thad, I think he's he has 3 now. He may lose 1 at some point or 2, but I think he's on pace to get in a couple more in 2026.
Absolutely. Mark, what are your thoughts on Thad Howitt winning the Annapolis Valley title here?
He deserves it. All the best to him, honestly. Like, I think he's one of those guys that were one of my favorites from like the first shows that I went to. He was so over with the crowd. Like, he was so loved by the crowd.
Can get over with any gimmick, whether it's a heel or as a comedy babyface or just a flat out babyface. Yeah, you know, he makes it work.
Yeah, he's versatile. He's like the Swiss Army knife of pro wrestling.
Agreed.
Yeah. But even with the Human Man out there, which we've never seen Thad or the Human Man in the same room, let's put it that way. But even with the Human Man out there, Bad Thad Howitt is my favorite of his.
Yeah. It reminds me almost like a Mad Max type of gimmick.
Yeah, especially nowadays doing the whole face paint and stuff, and it makes him look so intimidating.
Not only that, but how many other people do face paint in the Maritimes?
Not very many.
Like, back in the day, you had Ultimate Warrior, you had the Road Warriors, you had Demolition. You know, later on, you had, like, Great Muta and Sting, and, like, in the 2000s, I can only think of Jeff Hardy and Goldust that had face paint. Like, it's something that a lot of people don't usually do. And in the Maritimes, I think the only other one that comes to mind was on this show as well. It's Vincent Tyler.
Oliver Hansen comes out with his face.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, a little bit of face paint.
But
it's just a little touch, you know.
It's something that's different, right? It makes you stand out. It's just that thing that you need to stand out amongst other people. Like, Thad did the whole, like, even during his Maritime Juggernaut phase, he was still, like, kind of looked the same. Like, you know what I mean? He had the hair tied back, he had the leather jacket, the whole, you know what I mean? But, I mean, Bad Thad Howitt, literally just meaner look and face paint, and it totally changed the gimmick.
It went from a mid-card act to a main event act.
100%.
Because he became he won 3 world titles in 3 different promotions.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy that he's to the point where he's now older, probably wiser, and obviously more experienced in the ring now that he's starting to find the success. He still has a long road to go. I'm sure he's nowhere near being done wrestling. So it's nice to see him like start to get recognition now. And really move forward. Like I say, I think 2026, he's still in store for a couple more titles at least next year.
I agree 100%. So that was United Wrestling Cassidy's fight. Again, a huge shout out to United Wrestling for doing this. Charity work is always something that, not a lot of people are willing to do. And United was willing, and full proceeds went to this young lady. So best of luck to Cassidy and to the Smith family.
100%.
And that's the end of the episode. 14 minutes in, shortest episode ever. I'm kidding.
We got
upcoming shows.
Got a couple this weekend, both on Saturday. One in New Brunswick, one in Nova Scotia. So you got your share.
The difference.
Split the difference. If you're in Moncton, you have the option of both because they're pretty much the same distance apart. So first of all, Superstars of Wrestling Redemption, Saturday, November 22nd. They are at the RCCG Pavilion of Redemption Church in St. John. They have 6 matches lined up. They've got a singles match between newcomer Alex Robbins versus newcomer Drace Durning. Drace is, I say a newcomer. He's wrestled nonstop in 2025 since May. So it's
such a good kid, though. Just
I mean,
the world is his oyster right now. He's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, he started in May. I think he's just close to 20 matches already, if not 25 at this point.
That's 20 more than I have.
Yeah. It's 125
Easily.
more than I do. Singles match. Speaking of newcomer, last week's intro video, Mayapa taking on the vet Mark Thomas. So I think that's going to be a good match. Mayapa is a big boy. They don't call him the Slaughterhouse for nothing. So we'll see how he stacks up against the experience of Mark Thomas.
And he said it right there, the experience he's going to get just sharing a ring with Mark Thomas, who had WWE tryouts, was on, what was the show? Was it 205 Live dude was on against Noam Dar?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I believe it was.
Holy.
It was.
I had no idea about that.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Mark Thomas has been around the block and then some, and he's fun to watch. He goes by the working class hero, and he really is. He's like that working class kind of guy, the guy that goes in the ring, does what he has to do. Tons of experience. I mean, he's been all over the place. James Liberty, you know what I mean? Like, he's been everywhere. So it'll be fun. I mean, Mayapa is going to get so much experience just being in the ring. Like, it's going to be fun. There's a lot of new guys coming up. I can't wait to see where the next couple of years holds for them as well. Speaking of new, Wesley Pipes' wife, Brenda Pipes, is stepping into the ring for the first time, her pro wrestling debut, against more experience, taking on Chantal.
I mean, if you're going to jump in the ring with someone, Chantal is probably the most experienced one that you can do that with. And Brenda Pipes coming into the ring, I fully endorse. We need more female wrestlers in the Maritimes.
100%. Especially, I have seen a few clips. I think Pipes had posted on Instagram or maybe Facebook of her training in the ring. She looks impressive. So I think it's going to be a fantastic match. It's going to be definitely a highlight of Superstars this weekend, I believe.
Absolutely.
And they have some other good matches on the card as well. So it's we're getting to them. After the women's match, Giant Orion is taking on Dale Dangles.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Dangles, I'm glad that he's sticking around. You know, the XWA guys are coming back into Maritime Wrestling, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, there's a big handful of those guys that are back. Like
Caden, Josh Kotsubasakis,
Zatara, which used to be Mikey Rave.
Yeah.
Dale Dangles. I mean, obviously Dick Durning, Fantana, Wesley Pipes. You know what I mean? It's just fun to see that whole crew still performing and still selling, you know what I mean, sell out tickets and big crowds, and like,
don't forget Chip Chambers is part of that crew as well.
That's right, Chip Chambers. And a lot of these guys are like, they've built their career XWA, they've came up, they did their thing, they really put in the reps. Like we keep saying, you're putting in your reps. Well, it's starting to pay off for a lot of these guys.
You got to mention Zane Valentine too, or he will tell you, "Hey, you forgot it."
Yeah, definitely. But like, I mean, Caden is probably more popular now than he's ever been.
I think Caden is having the best run of his career, and I think it's going to end with him being a top guy in the Maritimes. He's just, from his stuff in CCW to his stuff in IHW to his stuff in IPW.
Yeah. Like
he's picked his shots, and he's just. I can't wait. I did speak to Caden a few days ago. His injury is, it's unfortunate. It's going okay, but it's still going to be a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna take time to heal, obviously. But yeah, it's just fun to watch these guys. Pipes. I mean, he's in probably the best shape of his life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Not only is he wrestling everywhere, he's holding titles. He's got the AIWF title, the Canadian title. He's owner of Superstar, so that's a whole other, you know what I mean? Another thing on top of it. Dick. Dick is Dick Durning. He is the ace of the Maritimes. He is the GOAT.
Everybody loves Dick.
Yeah, he's probably, in my eyes, one of the best wrestlers in Canada at this point.
Yeah.
Fantana, IHW Honor Champion.
Rugged Rick Owens.
You know what I mean? Like, these guys are all stepping up at the right time, and they're not letting their age define them as a wrestler. They're still doing their thing. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Other than that, next match, speaking of Dick Durning, this is going to be a match I can't wait to see. Unfortunately, I won't be there live, but there better be video footage. Jason Boa versus Dick Durning.
It's the first time, right?
I do believe it's the first time. Boa has only been wrestling for like 3 or 4 years, so they
a
both
good chunk of that, Dick was on injured reserve.
Exactly. I think it's 3 years Jason's been wrestling. They both cut some really powerful promos this week. So yeah, I think that match is going to be unbelievable. If you ask me who the best physique is in pro wrestling in the Maritimes, Jason Boa, hands down.
I can't disagree with that.
I mean, the guy looks like $1 million.
The guy's not big. The guy's shredded.
Oh yeah. He's every muscle on his body is developed. Like, you can look at him and count. Oh, there's a muscle. There's a muscle. There's a muscle. There's a muscle. It's ridiculous.
It's how they used to compare the WWF guys, where Animal, Warlord, Barbarian, they were big guys.
Yeah.
But then you looked at the Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude, they were shredded.
Yeah.
Now, Warrior was still really big, but he was like cut beyond belief.
Yeah.
And Boa reminds me of that. He reminds me almost like a ravishing Rick Rude type of body.
Absolutely. So that's that match. And then, speaking of XWA, the SOW and AIWF championship match, Wesley Pipes versus Fantana. So another best friends growing up, best friends through it all, and now they're facing off in the ring against each other. So another match I can't wait to see. So
yeah, I don't see Pipes losing the belts just yet. I think this is going to be a banger of a match, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, watching Fantana wrestle is always fun to watch. I mean, little Mexican jumping bean, he's all over the place. He seemed to turn it up a lot in the last couple months. He's doing things in the ring that he hasn't done a lot before. He's taking some more higher risks. He's doing some outside of the ring stuff, jumping off the top turnbuckle outside of the ring. One of the last times he wrestled for Superstars, he was hanging off of a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch. 6 big matches. Yes, I wish everybody at Superstars a great time.
I do know that Connor Cook will be at the show. He did tell me that he is going to be seeing Superstars Wrestling for the first time. I've yet to see Superstars Wrestling as well. I think 2026 is something that's on our bucket list. It's not
100%.
that far,
Yep.
I know Mark's been craving some CCW. He's been like telling us like, when are we going to CCW? I want to see them live.
Well, I've never been.
Yep. So
Yeah, I think now, especially now that I'm getting back in the swing of working full time again, and actually working a half decent job where I work during the day and get weekends off and stuff. I think next year, probably spring. You know what I mean? After hockey season is done and things get back to semi-normal for the podcast crew and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're definitely going to make some trips and
absolutely
go see some stuff. So speaking of trips, if you want to make a trip down to Truro, Nova Scotia this weekend at the Legion, New Breed main event Mania 4. They have 4 matches announced, 4 pretty good matches. VIP match, Benoit Gravel is taking on Hunter Sampson.
That should be awesome.
Should be a really good match. A couple good promos out there, so definitely take a look at New Breed's Facebook page. Hunter keeps getting better and better. His in-ring skills have improved unbelievably in the last year and a half. His promo skills are getting so good. This last promo for New Breed against Benoit, he, I don't know, seems to have a bigger confidence about himself, so I'm really hyped to see what 2026 is going to come for Hunter. I think he's another one that's going to be gearing up for multiple titles soon.
Absolutely.
The New Breed Tag Team Championship match. The Rodeo Rockstars are taking on the NWO's Dawson James and Max Power.
Should be a good match.
That should be a really good match.
It's for the titles, right?
It is, yeah. It's a titles match. So that should be really good. Another titles match. Fighting Spirit Championship. Sebi is defending his title against the Ghost Ricky Mortis.
I saw this photo this morning. So we're recording this on Tuesday. I can't help but look at Ricky Mortis and think of Baby Ryan Storm.
Yeah.
I immediately was like, Storm's getting his rematch, and I just look Ricky Mortis. I go, that's not how you spell Ryan Storm.
Yeah.
And then it just like, oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, it's again, we keep talking about Ricky being the next in line for these title shots and next in line for a title. I mean, is he going to win the Fighting Spirit right now? No, Sebi just got
Probably
a title.
Not. You just got it.
But it's another title shot. This I'm going to call him a kid. He's like 24. This kid is getting shot after shot after shot. One of these times, somebody's going to pull the trigger on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by April, May at the latest, you're going to see some gold around Ricky's waist.
Yeah, I think sometime next year. I don't know if I have we're going into an off period, like December, January. There's still going to be shows, but they're going to be very few.
Yeah, but
and when it really starts, May, June, like these times, that's when, we're going to really get into the thick of things. And I think maybe by summer, maybe by September, I think he probably gets a belt.
Yeah,
Which belt? I don't know.
Yeah. There's multiple. I mean, he has the liberty of doing both, right? He's doing the tag team, he's doing the singles. So who knows what he gets first?
My gut tells me it's IHW Tag Gold. I think early next year they introduce them. I think Julian Young and Ryan Storm gets the titles first. I don't think they have a very long reign, maybe a few months, and straight to the Hateful Dead.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what happens as well. Speaking of tag team, the main event match for New Breed is a main event tag team match. So last show, it was bet that Howard versus Andre Mayet. If Andre lost, he was not allowed to challenge Thad for the title ever again until he lost the title to somebody else. So this main event tag team is Andre Myatt and Chizenko versus Thad Howard and Chris Charters.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a really, really banger of a match.
I agree.
I think it's going to be absolutely crazy. Also, Olafur Hansen lost the last time he was there. Technically, he was fired from New Breed. However, he posted a video stating that he thinks everything was a mistake, and go to New Breed's Facebook page. There's a very polite Olafur Hansen talking to the camera. He's going to be there Saturday. Apparently, there's an apology coming. Something is going to happen. He was in a very nice tie and suit, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Absolutely.
Also, Saturday, Chris Cook will be there with a big announcement regarding his future and in what he says is going to be his final appearance at New Breed on Saturday. So that's happening as well.
I could be wrong, but I believe that Chris Cook's first championship belt was the New Breed Championship. Back then, the belt was represented by, it looked like the old Oval Intercontinental title.
Oh, yes, okay.
There's a picture of Madison Miles with Chris Cook when Maddie was like, I don't know, 10 years old, something like that.
If that.
And Cook has the NBW belt, and it's like shaped like the old Intercontinental title. Back to the tag match for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this match is going to determine who challenges Thad Howard in early 2026. And if Myatt can't do it, that only leaves one more person, and that person did our intro this week. Thank you to Chizenko. And I think Chizenko gets the win over Thad Howard here, and will be challenging him in 2026.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless there's some hijinks that happens and Charters turns on Howard.
That could happen.
Because we all know that Charters likes that gold as well.
Would Charters go babyface, or would Thad go babyface? Because, you know, Evan Wolf is going to be there. Does he let his champion go and side with Charters?
Ooh, that's a good question. Evan Wolf is a pretty shady guy, so we've seen it happen with Paul Heyman. I think
multiple times.
Yeah, I think Evan's right up there as well. He was with Jonathan Cross and left Cross for Howard. Does he leave Howard for Charters? Who knows? Time will tell, I'm sure. But yeah, there's Bobby Boyette's also going to be there. Ryan Schimmel, Bradford Gillis as well. So should be for a really good night of wrestling. So like I say, if you're in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, you've got your pick of two good things. If you're in Moncton, same length of drive either direction. So flip a coin, figure out where you're going to go. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish everybody a great weekend of wrestling.
A great weekend of wrestling, and since we only had one show to talk about, we decided that we're going to bang out a few fan questions this week. So we got 3 lined up. So Jason, the first question.
First question comes from a gentleman named Oliver Tarnside in Penrith, England. He says, how important are specialty matches, i.e. cage matches, TLCs, fans bring the weapons match, in building hype versus regular matches?
I think it's very important if the stipulation isn't overused.
Yeah.
I mean, like, everybody and their mother knows that the Ultimate Warrior is my all-time favorite. I think I mentioned him like 3 or 4 times already on this episode. His feud with Ravishing Rick Rude ended with a steel cage.
Yeah.
Rude was the only man to ever beat the Ultimate Warrior for a title in the WWF. That was enough to warrant him going after the WWF World Heavyweight title that Warrior had. And at SummerSlam, they had a steel cage match. Still my all-time favorite steel cage match. But that worked, you know. Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, steel cage match. Two brothers that absolutely hate each other. Not a good cage match, in my opinion. But the stipulation warranted it.
Yeah.
You can go like Mankind and The Undertaker, the Hell in a Cell. That's what they're remembered for. Now, the problem with these specialty matches is nowadays, this is why I say the best era of wrestling was 1984 to 2004, and then 2005 to 2025 was the worst era of wrestling. A lot of people will disagree with me, but now you have a specialty match, like you'll have Elimination Chamber because it's February. You'll have Hell in a Cell because it's October. It doesn't warrant that match.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, to me, a specialty match works really well if there's a really strong underlying storyline.
There needs to be a blood feud. It needs to be like a regular match, like whether it be a last man standing, a no holds barred match, a hardcore match. Like it's like deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
deathmatch wrestling is just gimmick. I enjoy deathmatch wrestling, all right? Because I'm a fucking asshole and I love seeing people get hurt. But there's nothing to these matches. It's two guys that can't work just hitting each other with plunger.
Like those death matches, all it is pure shock value.
Yep.
But like in actual professional wrestling, whether it's like the mainstream stuff or the indie stuff or whatever, if the specialty match makes sense, like you said, to end a feud, to further a storyline, if there's something a really strong story underneath it, then it makes sense, because all you're doing is you're turning the volume knob to 100 with a specialty match. You're building up. It's cranking the excitement up. So whether it's a TLC match or, like you said, a cage match, or like you take that Chip Chambers and Hollywood Cole match. They fought I don't know how many times before they got the cage.
Because it was the end of the feud.
Right.
If you go and watch a movie, like a Marvel movie, and there's like a 3-4 parter, or Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I don't remember seeing much of Lord of the Rings, but I know in the third one there's this huge epic battle.
Yeah.
That you can consider that the specialty match at the end, the big payoff. The specialty match that will draw.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, as long as the specialty match is done correctly and at the right spot in the storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to build up and have 3 or 4 good like regular matches and then have a tables match that makes sense in the storyline, great. Not, then don't do it, because it's you're not looking for the shock value. You're trying to build the storyline. You know what I mean? So it's
also very hard to have a long-term program nowadays because people get bored easily. Like, we live in an era where people won't watch an hour-long video, but they will scroll for hours in the reels.
Yeah, yeah.
Shorter is better nowadays. Giggity.
When it comes to, I think, the mainstream stuff, I think it's... But I mean, here, in the local stuff, I think the longer stuff is probably better, because then they can really, like... Especially, like, it depends on the promotion, because some promotions only have 4 to 6 shows a year.
Yeah.
Then you have no choice but to accelerate your storylines.
North Pro is a perfect example of that. Like, how long did that Burke Dylan Davis feud last? Yeah. And there was very little build. The payoff was fantastic.
Yeah.
But for years, we thought that there is going to be no payoff. Until Burke finally decided, fine, I'm going to come out of retirement. I'm going to face Dylan Davis and end the feud. Like, it's one of those, and that wasn't even a specialty match. That was just a match. They had hardcore elements, but, North Bro's kind of like the ECW of the Maritimes, where the rules are just made up, and it's like the points are made up, and nobody cares.
Yeah,
So whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, what do you have to say about this? What is your take on specialty matches?
I had actually watched a video this week where I kept this particular phrase from that video, and I think it explained this question to a T, really word for word, where we have to put it this way. The match doesn't fit into the gimmick, which is the story, or does the story fit into the match? That's the difference, right? So let's say, I'll just try and find an example. These two guys having a feud, and one of the two guys always runs away, like he's a coward, right? Stick him in a fucking cage. He can't run away. Fuck it. Yeah. Let him fight out of it. Like that's the fun of it, right? You want to see the guy get his... Yeah.
Like a cage or even a dog collar match, because now you're attached to this guy that you're terrified of. You won't admit it, but you're terrified of. And,
exactly.
Guys that would be like the best at that. Like, I'm trying to think of the best heels that were like these chicken shit heels that would run away and all that. And
Logan
none really...
Green.
But Logan, we didn't see Logan do matches like that. I'm talking like in mainstream wrestling, like guys that were like perfect at being like the chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I can't think of anybody right now.
Mainstream wrestling, there hasn't been a whole lot of like dog collar not in like more modern mainstream wrestling, dog collar matches, chain matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go back to the early 80s, late 70s. I mean, some of the biggest dog collar or strap matches, you know what I mean? You guys like the Beast and Killer Carl Krupp, and you know what I mean? Like, those were...
I think universally the most well-known would be at the first Starrcade, which was Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine.
Yeah.
Where Piper's eardrum was busted open, and I believe Valentine was the United States champion, but they were like, to add a little something, they were like, this is going to be a dog collar match, no titles are on the line, this is just because these two guys hate each other. That was enough to sell it.
Yeah. So here's an idea. Let's position it this way. At IPW, Logan Green versus Ricky Mortis in a dog collar match. That would be fan-fucking-tastic, and I would enjoy every bit of it.
These two are the main focus of this feud. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of impossibility.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, long answer short, yeah, we do think that specialty matches, are valuable. If they're not done too often. Like if you're talking about a Hell in a Cell match or an Elimination Chamber match or even a Royal Rumble match. I think the only specialty match that works as a yearly thing is the Royal Rumble because, all right, the Royal Rumble, whoever wins gets a shot at the world title at WrestleMania. So it's like one of those things where, okay, Money in the Bank, I feel, has really run its course. Case thing, I'm done to death with it.
Same thing with Elimination Chamber. Useless as tits on a bull. Like, it's
exactly.
Just, War Games make sense. You can build up to that throughout the year. You can build your storyline throughout the year. But some of these other ones, like I say, the Elimination Chamber, useless. Money in the Bank, useless. There's 800 titles now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you need a Money in the Bank? There's 800 titles. Everybody gets a shot every second week, so it doesn't matter. You know
Imagine a Money in the Bank for CMLL. I believe CMLL has like 30 championship belts active right now. Yeah, and it's like, why do you need 30 titles?
Yeah.
All right, so next question.
Next question is from Derek Fontaine from Edmonton, Alberta. What makes a great in-ring storyteller versus just a good athlete?
This one's a very simple one for me. Selling, promos, great character work, and less is more. So I'll explain a little of these. The art of selling doesn't exist anymore. Where I'll give you a great example of one of the best sellers ever. Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart, King of the Ring 1993. The night he won King of the Ring. He had 3 matches. And this is where you need attention to detail. The opening match, he is versus Razor Ramon. If you blink and you'll miss it. Razor Ramon stomps on his fingers. Bret gets the win. Bret comes out. His fingers are taped up. Second match, Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect works his knee. Oh my God, Bret's going to be crippled. Bret gets the win. Bret comes out. He's got taped up fingers. Now he's got a taped up knee, and he's very much limping. Selling the knee the entire match.
Yeah.
The art of selling. We have these fucking guys now doing TLC matches at WrestleMania and doing Money in the Banks and fucking Hell in a Cells and Elimination Chambers. These brutal matches that you should be in the hospital after taking that. And then you come out on Raw the next night and you're fresh as a daisy. Not a scratch on you. You're hunky-dory, you know. You know, it's the art of selling. To me, there's a reason why guys like Hulk Hogan, Bill Goldberg, The Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. There's a reason why guys like that who weren't the best workers, they could work. Maybe not Goldberg, but they could work. They could work because they need to work. They were great characters. The character work, the mic work. A lot of people will shit on the Ultimate Warrior's promos. Why do you remember them, though?
Yeah.
They were different.
Exactly.
You look at the Ultimate Warrior, he wasn't going to be jerking the curtain. He wasn't going to be doing Kurt Angle style moves. But when push came to shove, could he put on a 5-star classic? Absolutely. Prove that with Hogan. Prove that with Rude. Prove that with Randy Savage. Had some great matches with Ted DiBiase. He was a great wrestler. He was a better character. His promos were memorable. He fit the build. He fit the look. Hulk Hogan, same thing. You don't think Hulk Hogan couldn't work? Watch his Japan stuff.
Yeah, it's different.
I look at guys nowadays that... Will Ospreay is a perfect example of... He has his moves. His really flashy moves. He has no personality.
Yeah.
And
Ricochet, same thing.
Ricochet's a great example too, where there's no personality, there's no selling, there's no character work. Yep. There's plenty of flashy moves that you're going to see on Dynamite, and then you're going to see the exact same thing on the pay-per-view. And this isn't an AEW thing. Every promotion does this now.
Oh yeah.
There's the art of a finishing move. There is no finishing move anymore.
It's a shame. Yeah.
You have to kick out of 15 F5s before the 16th one beats you.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
Shawn Michaels would hit you with one sweet chin music kick, and that was it. You knew the match was done.
That's the best super kick. And Jake the Snake had the best answer. Someone asked him, does it bother you that the DDT now is just a setup move? It's just a random move. He goes, nope, doesn't bother me. When I hit the DDT, it finished people. They just don't know how to do it. It's the perfect working thing to say. But no, it's one of those things for me where it's very disappointing. And wrestlers nowadays, they're gymnastics. They're not actors. They're not workers. Like, it's the total character. It's the whole... Yeah, it's the promo. It's the look. It's everything. Yeah,
there's still some guys in mainstream that are good storytellers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seth Rollins is probably the best, in my opinion. I mean, this guy sold his injury to millions of people walking around with crutches in his everyday life. Literally, like, feeding his child information. Don't tell anybody that daddy's not really hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that is living his character. That is great storytelling. But, I mean... 98% of it nowadays, it's all for the flash. Like, a good storyteller to me is somebody that, like you say, knows how to sell, but also knows how to react. They feed off the energy off the crowd. They know how to use their character. Probably the best guy I can think of locally is, well, two of them is Caden and LG.
Absolutely.
Neither one of them have to get in the ring and lift a finger for them to be classified as two of the best heels in the Maritimes.
That's one of the things that you got to give them credit for doing that.
100%.
If you already have them, why are you going to work 150 miles an hour?
You don't have to. That's the whole idea of being the great storyteller.
Your presence makes them boo you.
Yeah.
Job well done. Dust
100%.
yourself off. Do a 5-minute match. You've already got them. Put on a headlock for 10 minutes. They're going to boo the fuck out of you even more.
Even guys like Rudy Lockhart. Rudy doesn't have to... Don't get me wrong. Rudy's a fantastic wrestler. But he's not doing these big flips off the top rope. He's not doing these crazy moves. The minute Rudy goes through that curtain, people are going absolutely insane.
It's the confidence, too. Comes out, he's got a swagger to him. He knows he's the fucking shit.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea. He is using his character and his gimmick properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you see Rudy Lockhart after the lights and cameras are off, he is probably one of the most humble, soft-spoken guys you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
But when the lights are on and it's go time, he is fully involved and he's a full storyteller, which is fantastic. In my opinion, indie wrestling has way better storytellers than mainstream wrestling.
Agreed 100%.
And not just Maritimes. I mean, I watch a lot of indie wrestling. I watch a lot of stuff in Ontario and in the US and the UK, and just plain and simple, indie wrestling has way better storytellers.
Yeah.
I mean, Auguste Artois.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy can wrestle. I've seen the match that he won the FIP title with. It was an absolutely insane match. Going back to specialty match, it was a bull rope match. I don't think I've ever seen so much blood in a match in my entire life. But again, the guy walks through the crowd, doesn't have to say 2 words. People are booing him. He's flipping people off. He knows how to use his character, how to use his gimmick, and how to tell a story. So, yeah, it's fun. Storytellers are way better than these high-flying guys that are all fluff and no substance.
Absolutely. Mark, your thoughts on this?
Best storyteller in the Maritimes right now, Human Man. He lost both eyes. He still can't see.
That's a great point right there.
100%.
Yep. No, but seriously though, like touching on that point, about mainstream wrestling, Paul White, known as the Big Show, was on a podcast recently, and he was asked about the state of mainstream wrestling currently. He had to pause, not to make it sound too like he was being
corny,
kind of a douchebag about it, but he was like, they're great athletes. They're the best athletes we've seen, like, overall in the WWE, but that's about it.
Here's my when I say WWF was the best from 84 to 2004, I mean that so much. And there's a lot that I hated about the WWF back then. I was never a Hogan guy. There was some guys that I just didn't particularly care for.
Don't say that to Dave Boyce. Don't say that.
Here's the thing. I love Dave Boyce. I don't love Hulk Hogan, but I love Dave Boyce. So I call him Uncle Dave. After 2004, I found myself complaining more and more about wrestling. And at one point I stopped and I thought, is it me or is it just the product isn't for me anymore? And the product just isn't for me anymore. There's a lot of guys that I've argued with, and guys and girls, that they started watching wrestling in the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, and that's what they grew up with, and they don't know anything about Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man or Demolition and all these guys, and they don't know what WCW is. Some girl told me I thought that meant Wednesday Crush Weekly or something like that. I'm old. I don't fucking get what I don't know.
Okay.
I guess it was a Facebook thing a few years ago.
But man,
it's like the whole 6'7" thing. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
6'7".
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But for real though, like touching on that question, like I'll actually just give a couple of my favorites. I think you spoke about one of them, which was Razor Ramon, and how that guy basically, like there's still people out there that are professional wrestlers today that did not know that he was not actually Cuban.
And if you listen to him, he's clearly doing a very poor Cuban accent.
Oh yeah,
like the Razor Ramon gimmick is inspired by Scarface, Al Pacino's Scarface.
Yeah.
But how, like, it's like they were saying, he was one of the most brilliant minds you could ever find in professional wrestling. Like, it was incredible.
Scott Hall was one of the most giving top guys ever.
The Crow. Right there, man.
Not even like that. I mean, like, he wasn't afraid to do a job. This one time in WCW, he lost a match to Chris Jericho, who wasn't the Jericho that we know now.
No.
But he was like, what does me beating him do for anybody? He's like, Chris, you're going to go over. Just give me a roll up or whatever. And Bischoff was pissed. And Jericho was like, it was his idea. And he's like, yep, it's my idea. What are you going to do, fire me? Jericho went over after that as Cruiserweight champion, as the TV champion, Monday Night Jericho, it became a star in WCW, and he wasn't supposed to. All thanks to Scott Hall.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I was saying, like the character that Sting was portraying at the time, being the flashy surfer guy. Mm-hmm. He was looking to reinvent himself, and Scott just offered that to him. I think that's the difference. He was understanding that Sting changing his character was going to tell a better story. He was going to fit in as a more essential piece of that puzzle where the product was at that time.
See, the intention was good. The outcome was very poor. Because Sting, what Goldberg ended up having in 98, which that wasn't even done well, should have been Sting's. Because they spent a year and a half building Sting not wrestling. He's in the rafters, and he's got white face paint now, and he's Eric Draven from the Crow movie, and he's got a baseball bat and a duster jacket. And then when the match happens, Hulk Hogan's politicking. Sorry, Uncle Dave. Hogan's politicking. Instead of Nick Patrick counting 1, 2, 3 very fast, he does a regular 1, 2, 3. Bret Hart comes out like the bully that he is, restarts the match, and screws Hogan. Like WCW LOL.
Yeah.
But,
it's a shame.
That's a good point, though, in the storytelling. They had an 18-month build-up to that Starrcade, and the only thing that was terrible was the final product, the final match. Sting wins the belt. Yeah, that's great. 11 days later, they vacate it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sting wins it back. Yeah, 56 days later, I think it was, he loses it. There has to be a final say guy when it comes to the storytelling and all that for a character. Because if it's the inmates running the asylum, you're not going to get something good. And going back to what we were talking about, the selling, the promos, the great character, the less is more. The less is more is one of those things where I remember the Cardinal Sinners saying during the taping of Wrestling Reality, when they had this hot angle to finish the season, and people were screaming like, we want more, we want more. And the heels didn't give them more. And their thinking on that was, if we give them more, why are they going to come to the next show? Leave them wanting more.
cliffhangers.
If you hit 15 Canadian destroyers, you've killed that move.
Yeah.
If you hit 100 super kicks in a match, you've killed that move. All right?
Yeah, I mean,
less is more when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the moves, like you were mentioned earlier, finishers, right? Like nowadays, you take the Usos. Every second, third move in the ring is a super kick.
The Young Bucks as well.
Yeah, and there's no meaning behind it anymore. Like I was saying earlier, HBK hit one sweet chin music. That's it. The match was done. To fini. Now it's super kick after super kick after super kick. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a super kick, and it's meaningless. It doesn't make any sense.
And another thing that doesn't make sense is when no finisher is protected except for one. I remember this era where the brogue kick, one would kill you.
Yeah.
But that's the only finisher that was protected. Another time period it was End of Days is another one. The pedigree at one point was like very protected. But then you look at a finisher like the F5, which I think the F5 is the greatest creation to come out of the 2000s. Because you think about a fireman's carry into a DDT, basically.
Yeah.
That's very innovative. And now Brock Lesnar needs like 7, maybe 8, maybe 10 to beat Roman Reigns. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I've seen 1,000 spears from Goldberg, Roman Reigns, Edge. Uso now does it. It's like, you're killing that finisher too.
Well,
Yeah, that's difficult.
And all of them, like, just this past Monday, I saw the highlights of, like, the whole, like, ending of Raw, building up to the War Games. So it's Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and the Usos are taking on Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, and somebody else. Anyway,
Drew McIntyre, that's who it is. Anyway, so they're in the ring and they're doing this whole scuffle thing, and everybody's coming out, and Braun comes out, and Roman comes out, and Cody hits, I want to say it was Braun Breaker, like 3 times at the crossroads, and he still got up and walked away. Yeah.
Like, what's happening here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense.
That's why there's another podcast that I listen to called The Solid Monster Sounds Off, and that's where I get my mainstream wrestling news from.
Yeah.
Because he's an entertaining guy. He's one of the reasons I started podcasting. Really enjoy Jason Solomonster's work. Or Jason Solomon. His last name isn't Solomonster.
Jason Solomonster.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that because I knew about Drew McIntyre because I saw it on Facebook and all that. I don't watch the product. But yeah, that's basically our take on it. We got one more question, might as well.
Can I actually say one thing before we move?
If
Absolutely.
it makes sense.
We need more ambulances. You can't walk away leaving an ambulance or don't leave at all. You're dead.
I mean, that's actually... No, you're right. Because I've seen angles where they pulmonize someone's neck.
Yeah.
And then they get up and they're like... and they leave. No, blood capsule in your mouth. You're fucking dying. Get an ambulance. You know?
Yeah,
if you can't afford it, don't do the angle.
Yeah.
Can't afford it, go into debt. Get a mortgage. Get a loan, something.
No, but it's one of those things that's... You said that as a joke, but you're right.
Oh, it's true.
You're 100% right.
No, but
it's like,
even if it's
sell
not
sell it.
Yeah, even if it's not an ambulance, like...
Get carried to the back.
Get carried to a back. Get a backboard, a neck brace. You can go to fucking Shoppers or whatever and get a neck brace.
There was an angle.
Fucking backboard.
Between...
Drop someone up, bring them out back, and make sure that guy doesn't come back out. Period.
There was an angle in UCW between Troy Merrick and Casey Williams where Troy hit the tombstone and injured him. And they just flat out used a table to carry him to the back. Whatever the fuck works.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like I say, it's what, $20 to pick up a neck brace or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Strap him to a board, put a neck brace on, make sure the match is before the intermission, So make sure it's a guy that normally comes out at intermission, normally interacts with the fans. Strap him to a board, bring him out back, make sure he doesn't come out.
Exactly.
Remember Mysterio and Big Show?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, our third and final question for this episode.
Third and final question comes from a gentleman from St. John's, Newfoundland, Mr. Kevin Purdy.
Yeah.
What is the loudest pop you've ever heard at an indie show?
I got two answers. The first one is both are from North Pro.
Yeah.
In the Marcus Burke versus Moondog Dylan Davis match, when Dick Durning's music hit.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
People didn't expect it. He has such an iconic theme song. And he was Mr. North Pro. He's the guy that Marcus Burke was going to strap the rocket to and just go into the stratosphere. And when that don't, like I remember just my ears just popped. And I remember Corey was sitting next to me, just goes, holy shit! Like Corey's marking the fuck out.
Oh yeah,
and there was a few pops that night.
Dwayne was next to me, hit me in the chest. So yeah, I got it.
So that's my first. My other one is Wayne Jugs. When Never Gonna Give You Up would start, not only would the people pop, they would get out of their seat and they'd almost like be dancing and clapping. And it was a real party. By the time Wayne Jugs finished his entrance, we were gassed. We were blown up. We were like, I am throwing in the towel, and the intermission hasn't even happened yet. I'm done.
Were you there for the show that they were filming for the 5 TV series?
Yep.
Where he came out to Never Gonna Give You Up. He did the whole entrance. Everybody danced, and then he had to go back, and they had to redo it because they weren't allowed to use the song.
Yep, I was. Those are the two. I've had a few good pops. Like IHW, I remember Titus versus Julian Young when Titus won the belt back. That was a pretty big one. When BT Bobby Mann won the I title from Ryan Storm, that was a huge pop.
Last North Pro show when you grabbed my hoodie.
What was the pop there?
And you wouldn't let go. I don't even remember because I kept telling you, like, Corey, leave my hoodie alone.
I don't remember that at all. I mean, you might have dreamt that.
No, I'm not.
He told me about it right after it happened
to me so fucking hard. You have no idea. And I was like, what is going on here?
I have no clue what it is.
I don't remember what it's for.
But those are mine, so Jason.
Yeah. Well, obviously the Dick Durning one at the North Pro return was unbelievable. North Pro for me as well. When New Hook proposed to Emily.
That was a big one.
That cheer after she said yes, my God, I don't think first of all there was a dry eye in the crowd, and it was absolutely
when he
fantastic.
dropped to a knee.
Oh.
When he dropped to a knee, that's when the roar started low.
Yeah.
And then, like people just like lost their shit for that one.
Yeah. It was definitely cool to be at such a monumental moment in their lives. That one. Titus again. When he showed up earlier this year at IHW to pay tribute to Surge.
Yeah. I wasn't there, but I heard it.
The minute his music hit,
Was it Slayer or was it his East Coast Predator theme?
It was Slayer.
Was Slayer?
And
nice.
The minute that music hit, oh my word! The people, I don't think it would have tied Dick's entrance at North Pro. I think for hype, the people were going absolutely insane. So, and it was weird because I would say only like half of the people there knew who Titus was because there was obviously a gap since he had wrestled, so there's newer fans.
His last match, I believe, would have been 2021.
Yeah, so like there's obviously like newer, younger fans since COVID, you know what I mean? So that whole but even with only half of the crowd knowing it was him, It was absolutely mental. It was crazy. It was what a pop. And then just some honorable stuff. You know what I mean? Like when Remy came out for the first time as general manager, I think that was really cool. Another big pop too is when he came out for his retirement match against JP. That was probably the biggest and longest pop I've ever heard. After he was done wrestling, I think he got like a 5 or 6 minute standing ovation.
Well deserved too.
Well deserved. It was absolutely fantastic. Mark, what about you? I'm sure you've had a couple.
Oh, I mean, obviously the bottle at the North Pro show.
Yeah.
The birth of Stitchface again. I swear there were people there that were so shocked.
It was a different kind of
like it was a
pop.
gasp.
Yeah.
And then a silent moment. And then there were people leaving.
Here's my nitpick on that. I love Chris Corey. Chris Corey is a fantastic guy, great commentator. He couldn't have sold that one less. If you watch the show, he's like, "Oh, Chris Cook lacerated there." It's like, my God, Jim Ross. I'm not a Jim Ross fan. I always thought Jim Ross absolutely sucked on commentary. But Jim Ross would have been like, "My God, he's got a family. He's going to be blind in that eye."
He's got glass all over his eyes and his butthole.
Stop
like,
the damn match, He's just Jim Ross it. Oversell it, because it's one of those things where it was done so well, and Chris Corey's like, "Oh, man. Oh, fuck, that sucks."
Yeah.
Like, couldn't care less. I love Chris Corey, though.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird commentary for sure. Another one that comes to mind too is I wasn't there live, but I seen it on video, is when Wayne Jugs turned heel against Moon Mist.
Yeah. Pro Wrestling Unleashed.
That I've never seen fans go from hot to from cold to hot so quick. Like, it just instant switch. That was crazy as well. So
another quick suggestion here. Anybody in Miramichi, not anybody, but like
the kids.
Number 1, Fantana. Number 2, LG. Number 3, Shane Butterlove. Number 4, Hunter Sampson. Number 5, Rick Owens. That would be like the top 5 pops of the list.
Yeah.
And then the rest.
Yeah.
Miramichi used to have NWE. And they had NWE for close to a decade. Like, I think it started in 2000. Well, not close to a decade. Maybe a good 6 years. Like 2014 to 19. Maybe 5 years even.
Okay.
And that Miramichi isn't that big of a place. I used to argue with the Big Boss all the time that Miramichi should have their own promotion, and he's like, "No, Miramichi's too small. It's too small." NWE made it work. I don't know how successful they were with it, but they made it work. Yeah. And the hardcores, they came out. So IHW going to Miramichi now. I saw Kirk Obey put out a thing on Facebook from one of the guys from the radio station.
Yeah, I saw
how
that
it's been very positive and people are excited. So you're going to see more shows in Miramichi come 2026. Absolutely. And I absolutely love it. You love to go to Miramichi. The fans there, they love their wrestling, they love their hockey, they love their alcohol.
Yeah.
The alcohol's cheap. Not expensive.
Alcohol is not cheap.
It's fun. Like, I mean, some of the pops at CCW as well are crazy. Rugged Rick Owens gets a massive pop every time he comes out. Every time he comes out, he draws a really big pop as well. Hunter Sampson as well. Yep. I mean, it's crazy. I'm sure we could go around to all the different promotions and their top guys are getting big pops. You know what I mean? But
we haven't mentioned one. They probably have the best theme song in the Maritimes. When Blackout hits and Sabotage comes out.
Oh, yeah.
God. That song is it's rare that you can have a perfect song for some guys, and that fits them so well.
Yeah. As soon as you hear the crows start to caw, it's everybody knows what's going to happen, and it's insane. Like entrance themes are a big part of some of those pops, like you mentioned earlier. Dick, as soon as Let's Go hits, it's people go absolutely, people go absolutely, people go inside. So it's so a lot of those. Even now with like some of the younger guys, as soon as Ricky Mortis's song hits, everybody knows what's going to happen, right? Like it's the anticipation. So there's I think there's going to be a lot of bigger pops next year. We're going to see some bigger stuff next year.
Absolutely.
What?
If you guys watch the Eric Andre show, at the end there's always this guy that goes absolutely.
Oh,
And that's how we're ending the fan questions of the week. Thank you to all three supporters for the question. If you have a question that you would like answered on this podcast, Jason, the email is
unofficial.mw.podcast @gmail.com. I knew you were going to ask that question, so I made sure to have it ready.
Bam! Great minds think alike. Once again, big thank you to Chizenko for the intro this week. 2 big shows this weekend if you're in the area of St. John or Truro, right? Make sure to go out and see some fantastic wrestling. It's fine to watch it on YouTube. It's fine to watch it online. There's nothing like live sports. Professional wrestling, professional hockey, or senior hockey anyway, and basketball is on its way.
Basketball's coming.
Baseball too. Go out and support your local teams, your local sports, your local wrestling promotions. Without the fans supporting it, it doesn't last. And we got some great wrestling right now, and you got to support it.
Yeah, speaking of sports, the Tri-City Tide have a exhibition game coming up November 30th against the Tri-State Admirals here in Moncton. So stay tuned for details on that. That league is expanding here in the Maritimes. Newfoundland, St. John's, Newfoundland has got a team. Antigonish has a team.
Love that name.
There's a
Can you say it?
potential Antigonish. Yeah, there you go. Bathurst possibly may be getting a team in the next year. Truro might be getting a team, and St. John and Fredericton are also on the list.
The name of this league always makes me laugh. It's the Basketball League.
Yep, the TBL, the Basketball League. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, that'll be the end of this episode. I want to thank you both for joining me on this episode. This was a fun one.
No, thank you.
You're too kind. Well,
Mark's got a finger. Hold on.
Can I make a habit of finishing our episodes on a quote that relates to what we spoke about during the episode?
Sure, but doesn't Corey, didn't you mention earlier that you had a story that you wanted to tell us?
I did.
Oh,
Thank you.
gosh.
Thank you for mentioning that. So we're not done yet. I was talking to an old buddy of mine. This has nothing to do with anything, all right? And I don't have proof that this was them. We're going back to 2007, all right? YouTube is a few years old. And I'm making my first YouTube channel, not the Maritime Warrior, just my own personal to subscribe to channels, to comment, and this and that.
Corey the Leprechaun 14206.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah.
So that same week, Ring of Honor had a show, and The Age of the Fall debuted. So this was after a match that the Briscoes, Mark and Jay Briscoe, I think they won a ladder match. It was definitely a ladder match. They either won or lost titles or retained titles. But Jay Briscoe was all bloody. Like, he had a gusher. The Age of the Fall was Jimmy Jacobs, Tyler Black, who's now Seth Rollins, Necro Butcher, the deathmatch wrestler, and their valet, I believe her name was Lacey. And so they attack the Briscoes. They attach Jay Briscoe's feet to the hoop that held the belts, and they pulled him up into the ceiling. So he's got a gusher going. So Jimmy Jacobs starts cutting a promo right underneath Jay Briscoe.
Okay.
Jimmy Jacobs is wearing all white, and blood is just pouring into his hair, into his white jacket, his white trunks. He had like a duster almost, like a long white coat, just drenched in blood. At one point, he opened his mouth and spit the blood out.
Oh, my.
So that was a few days before I made my YouTube channel. So back then, in 2007, 2008 maybe, I think it was 2007 though, you had to create, like, it's at, like, for this channel, it's at Maritime Warrior, or at Maritime Warrior.
Corey the Leprechaun 26.
So I picked, So I picked the name Age of the Fall.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember, but the YouTube back in 2007, you could have private messaging.
I don't remember that, no, but
you could have like a private message with people that you either subscribe or whatever, or that knew you, or they'd send you a message. So this random YouTube channel, I don't remember the name. I think it was like a name with some numbers or whatever. And this is like a couple days after I made my YouTube channel, said, you can't use that name. And me being like 18, 19 years old at the time, I'm like, well, I just did.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't hear anything again. Maybe 2 or 3 days later, what was the name? AOTF Official was created. Age of the Fall Official. So their gimmick was going to be they're going to do promos and all that on YouTube. So I'm like, get the fuck out. So I go and look at the message, and it's gone. And it's gone. So my theory was always that they were going to use the name Age of the Fall, and I beat them to the punch. And they had to pivot and use something else. So I wish I could talk to Tyler Black or Seth Rollins, Jimmy Jacobs, Necker Butcher, someone in Ring of Honor, to see if they were going to use that, because still to this day, it's the username on my private YouTube. And some little dipshit from the Maritime stole their name.
Oh, well.
So that's my little story. I was talking to one of my buddies.
Slow.
Yep. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed all these stories. Other than that, Mark, you want to start doing a little something at the end?
Yes. So this one is in honor of the match that's coming up, featuring Dick Durning and Jason Boa. This is what I want everybody to chant during that match. Choke on that dick.
Oh, boy.
And with that being said, we will see you in 7 days.
Unfortunately.
Until then, God damn it, Mark. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. We drop new episodes every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Atlantic Time, so make sure to join us each week. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and also listen to the episodes and interviews on all your favorite podcast platforms, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And if you want to support us even further, grab one of our t-shirts over at Pro Wrestling Tees. Just scan the QR code to get yours. Until next time, thanks for listening and supporting Maritime Wrestling.